from where we come from, we want these lifestyles. We want nice houses, we want nice cars. But now the owners of debt, of debts, are very inviting.
All right, yo, what's up, guys? This is Nqobile Tembane from Top Trader South Africa, and I'm bringing you guys another installment of Market Masters, where I sit down with the most prominent and talented individuals in the game. So today we're actually going to shift gears a bit. I know we always talk about trading, we always talk about obviously what we do as traders as well, but today I felt it very important for us to have a different conversation, especially surrounding today's topic as well, because I think, yes, in as much as we all want, it's only money that we want, but I think it's very important that we also know that when that money comes in, and also having the right mindset towards that money that is coming in. So I think that's going to be the gist of today's conversation as well. But today I have a very esteemed guest. I've got Mamohau Nkosi.
Mamohau Nkosi.
Mamohau Nkosi. It feels wrong. I feel like I need to say Mrs. Mamohau
No,
Nkosi. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good, and how are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for coming out here today. I'm very excited for I know you were very nervous because you were like, hey, traders. No, but I think, like I said to the people, we're shifting gears today because it's so important, because you see these Forex, a lot of Forex guys make a lot of money, but I think understanding wealth, that mindset, it's very important. And I think that's what we're going to tackle today and all that. But before we get into all of that, Mamohau, who are you? Where do you come from? Guy, those kind of things.
Okay.
Just a bit of background.
Yeah, I'm Mamohau Nkosi. I come from Davidton.
Yeah.
Twato Mapupeng.
Vote.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially grew up in a squatter camp.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For real?
Yes,
Okay.
For real, like hardcore.
Yeah.
And then I, went through the normal school journey and eventually studied civil engineering when I went to a tertiary.
Yes.
So, but my accreditation is in project management. And I work in construction as a result. But at the back of the book, there's my bio.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So as I was journeying in life, I started trying to build wealth with property. So as I was doing that, I realized and felt that there's a lot of lessons that one can impart to the people. And I then started the journey of the book. Then I started writing the book. But obviously, as you go through this process, you grow. So manje, I eventually wanted to actually speak to the people who are struggling. Octa, for instance.
Okay. All right, guys, we have partnered with Octa. And guys, when you partner with a broker, it's really important to partner with a broker that takes security and regulation very serious. And Octa prioritizes the security of user funds and employs advanced encryption technology to safeguard personal and financial information. The broker is also regulated by reputable financial authorities, providing users with a level of trust and confidence in their trading activities. Octa also provides fast deposits and withdrawals with various options. Guys, you need not to worry. These transparent trading conditions, zero swaps, no commissions, and no hidden fees when you're trading with Octa. With all these features, you know that you need to go now and interact with the market. And Octa provides a diverse range of instruments, 150 plus stock assets, 30 plus crypto assets, 35 currency pairs, metals, and indices as well. Based on all these features, this is the reason why Top Trader South Africa has partnered with OctaFX. So guys, please use the link in the description below. Trading made clear with Octa.
And get them to start thinking about wealth, even if they're in situations as in a right.
Yeah,
because
so
I know I come from there.
Okay.
So yeah, that is the idea behind the book, because as the book is doing the rounds, I'm also doing assisting financial coaching, basic finance, because I'm not really licensed to do financial advice and stuff. But I help with basic, your debt, budgeting, helping people start with different ways of generating income. Bangalendu kuba hayat. Yebo. So I do that essentially. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is me.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm very passionate about imparting this knowledge, because I know how it feels to come from a space of hopelessness and a space so kungabi nama resources to be able to plan a life kahle. You're struggling to survive, and you have kids and you have all sorts of needs. Abanye bethu sigijinyiswa abomashonisa and stuff. So yeah, I know that space. So I want to help people to get first their mind out of that environment, and then move them into labazoba stable financially, and then over to wealth mindset.
Sure. I like what you just
I've
said.
said a mouthful.
No, I like what you just said, to be stable financially and then moving into the wealth mindset, or moving into that. It's like there's a step there that people need to understand.
Look, I think getting your finances right requires also a certain type of mindset. Uguti ma uhola, you don't blow the whole entire amount of money because Connie Black Friday or whatever. So it requires a specific mindset to know which a portion of that money must go to savings. Ama savings will invest in future.
Yes.
Ama savings woguti if there is an emergency. Ama savings, well, I don't really call them savings, but just giving back portion that helps with your abundance mindset. So you're training your mind that there is enough money for you to do all sorts of things. And then it also takes a specific mindset for you to then not wait for a job, or if you are in a job, you don't wait for increases or bonuses, by having innovative ideas to create income that's going to come to you. So once you have enough income that meets all your needs and then some, then that is the stability that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
From then on, then you can start thinking wealth. Masin kipeni kala kubo mashonisa, then get you stable,
you
and then
run, you must first crawl, exactly. All the steps.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then we can start to get with the process of a wealth mindset.
Yeah, we talk about wealth so much, and I think a lot of people tend to talk about wealth so much, and I think I just want to get your perspective on it as to what is wealth exactly, because I know people want to be rich, people want to be those kind of people want money, but I think it's very different wanting money and wealth. I think I'd like to believe.
Okay, in the book I explained it in details.
Okay.
Yebo. Sangenzela ukuthi banfuna etc. Nizela. But in a nutshell, essentially wealth umcebo onengqondo right. That is wealth that goes with the right mindset towards it. Because then that means you building something to get to the space of having that money or being rich. And then moving yourself from there to then creating a legacy so that your kids can enjoy and then pass on that wealth to the next generation as well. So essentially, in this context, I can explain it that way. But of course, I actually, on each chapter, explain differences between, the wealthy. When I summarize the chapter to say, from this chapter, these are the lessons of the wealthy, and this is how ordinary people think and all of that. So that gives so you can know the difference. Okay, mangenza kanje ngiyayilahla kancane, mangenza kanje ngicabanga njengaba laba wealthy.
Yeah, no, that's great. You know, I really believe that our childhoods play a very important role in who we are today. Lessons that we learned in our childhood, in that sense, you know. So are there any lessons from your childhood that you think you brought into your adulthood as well, especially in you being where you are? Is there any specific instances that when you look back, you're like, no, that actually taught me a very valuable lesson about where I am today?
Basically, poverty teaches you hustling. By its cock, say hustling. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've learned. I've learned in hardworking. I come from a family where the culture of working hard is instilled. My dad was very disciplined, so he instilled the discipline in us. So as a result, the kind of structure that I have in order to do some of the things that I set out to do comes from that kind of structure. We were laughing with a friend of mine. We were saying, that's a military background. But yeah, it really helps, refocuses me to the things that I need to achieve. Because this kind of mindset, it has certain rituals or habits that you need to learn. So that requires specific, discipline for you to be able to keep at it day after day. Because discipline is not discipline if it's not consistent. Because and 2 days later, of course, you're not going to lose the weight. Yeah. But if you consistent, even if you do a small amount of workout, eventually it yields results, because not only are you shedding weight, you are teaching your body to adhere to the instruction, your gym. So we're teaching our minds and our body to adhere to the instruction, your wealth, in this case.
Yeah, sure. You know, I like you say we're teaching our bodies or our minds, you know. I think I was reading the synopsis on the back of the book as well. And you spoke about creating paths, you know. Can we just talk about that? I think, creating the path as well. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying?
At the back.
No, it's like creating the path to wealth is what I'm, because I'd like to believe, is that the mindset, basically, that path? What is that path to wealth?
So the wealth mindset starts with teaching your body, like I was saying, teaching your mind, teaching your body. I always make this example when I teach the kids in high school. That I make an example of someone learning to drive. Maufunduk driver, you're not teaching your mind, you're teaching your body, you're teaching your subconscious mind to know what's in ka left konigere, and the maul shifter ulisa le gear number 1. Yabo njalo brakes, everything. So you don't spend the whole time looking and figuring out what mang breka inyawo lam le limele liye ngakuphi. Yabo. So it's the same exercise. So the first thing that we teach ourselves or our mind is the self-talk. Ukuthi I'm broke. Anginamali. Are my habits that which those are the habits that which you need to unlearn and then relearn. Yeah. Self-talk is number 1. And number 2 is the way in which you manage your money. Maubheka imali. How must you feel? Should you be excited? Should you be sad? Ukuthi ayikho enough? Or you also teach yourself, like I said, abundance. Ukuthi the fact that ingawiboni ngamehlo right now, it does not mean it does not exist. Because imali exists in your potential to generate it. So if unezandla, unenyawo, unengqondo, you can be able to generate money. So that renders you not necessarily poor. It renders you good, maybe lazy or lacking innovation, all of that. But if ungasukuma manje and go get money, because there's a lot of things that motivate people to go and find ways of making money and generating money. So you teach yourself to see things that don't exist essentially. Yayibona le mali ingakabi khona type of a thing. So I teach about strategies on how to train your mind ukuthi ushintshe negative self-talk and start talking positive to yourself, especially about money, of course. And then training your mind nge abundance ukuthi uqale uyibona imali ingakabi khona. So I understand the example that I give yokuthi the fact that uyaphila, you are alive, you can move and don't means you have a potential to generate money. So njengobula i-value yakho is based on what you can generate more than what you have in your pocket type of a thing. So I try and get your mind to start thinking that way instead of seeing lack yemali engekho. So though, and then a path means you need to get to a space where you start seeing a future for yourself. Abanye, like you're saying, they're doing trading. Abanye, they're starting businesses. Abanye, like me, doing property. You need to be able to be in a space of saying, in 5 years' time, this is where I want to be. Then now your path starts. Okay, now that I have this potential of generating this money, how then do I get myself there? It starts with the way you generate your money, the way you budget, the way you manage all your money. And this is why chapter 1 of the book deals with those basics. Before siqala nge-mindset your wealth, let's address how do you handle the money that is in your hand right now. And then sizo move on to generating more. You touch on one of my personal favorite topics. I know the viewers at home also know this. Money management. Money management for me is, especially when it comes to trading as well, for us traders on this side of the table, if I can put it like that. It's difficult to find success if you don't know how to manage your money. Exactly.
Especially, and that's so key and important. And a lot of guys think you can just go to Forex, make a lot of money, and then you live nice. But if
it's like catching water with a leaking bucket.
Yeah, so true. And some of these holes are big. So you're really touching on a topic that's very close and dear to my heart, because I see so many people out there, who are who make money and then somehow go back, like 10 steps back.
The middle class, actually.
Okay.
The middle class are stuck in this hole or in this loop where they make a lot of money, but come month end, they're like hoping with you, please let me get paid so I can pay my debts. And that is the other reason they get into debts. But you can understand from where we come from, we want these lifestyles. We want nice houses, we want nice cars. But now the owners of debt, of debts, are very inviting. You want this BMW? Come.
Okay.
But you have to be my slave and pay for it for the next 6 years. Yabo. Abanye, they take a balloon, hey?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a form of slavery that traps you in this loop, because if you are in that space, you can't freely say, you know what, I think I'm tired of working, and just leave and go try something else. But you can't do that if you are stuck in this house that you're paying, and so see, we want these lifestyles that traps us in these holes. But because we don't know. We come from where we were not taught about money. We're not taught about delayed gratification. Mina lamagama, I only had them maseng dal. I think I've been working for 20 years, and only then I had things like delayed gratification.
Yes.
I just knew which mang nemali or mang excited. I can go find clothes. My short mali, then take an account, and pay it in a scholar and everything. But over time, I realized, every time I make a decision like that, I'm digging a hole for myself. And I'm not building anything. And I think that's one of the saddest things, that came to my realization. After having worked 20 years, I realized I have not built anything.
Sure.
And then it hits me, after imalengaga that has gone through my hands, I have absolutely nothing to show for it. Then my thinking started changing. I started trying to seek knowledge and, started buying properties. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was determined to change my life altogether.
That's beautiful.
So, it's unfortunate. Middle class, they live very comfortable, nice lives. But they're not building anything.
Sure. Talking about building, I know you're very involved with property. I'm aware of that. But what I want to ask is that, we're talking about building right now and investing and starting. Because what a lot of people tend to use Forex as. Forex is usually the way to quickly make capital quicker than what you would do at your 9-to-5 job. Make that money from there and then start another business to sustain the trading, So now you've got the property side of business, and I know everyone is always saying, property is where it's at, property is where the real money is at. Is that true?
Look, you have to be very strategic as well. Okay. Even with Forex, like you're saying, you create capital so that you can invest in other things.
Yes.
So you can see that all of that, it needs some sort of a mindset of knowing how to manage money, knowing where exactly you're going or you're taking this wealth to. You don't just make capital, invest in other things without knowing this is the strategy and this is where the strategy is trying to lead to. So with property, firstly, there's a lot of ways of making money in property.
Okay.
Secondly, it also depends what you're trying to build. Mina, everything that I do, I try and do so that the community that which I come from benefits from my knowledge, my experience as well as I accumulate. So that is why I also give back in schools. That's why I wrote the book. Because I don't believe that success is just for me to look down at people and show them good I got it. It's so that it benefits people that I come from. Because the apartheid has done a number on us. Therefore, we have a duty to the next generation. When we got the freedom, what exactly did we do about it to make their life better? So that is my strategy. So when I build in property, obviously offering accommodation to people, but at the same time make sure I also cultivate a mindset. I'm not just building property to just build it. I want to create companies that provide jobs to people, that also educate them about how to make wealth and create their own legacies. Also give back to their communities, and by doing that, teaching them to do the same. As well. So that is my story, or that is my So I'm not sure if it answers your question, which is not just property for the sake of property. It's a property for the sake of trying to build our community as Black people, because there's a lot that we don't know. Therefore, that's why we educate each other. That's why we pull each other up. That's why we lend a helping hand wherever we can.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. You know what? Okay, I know. So because you have you've got experience. Let me put that properly. You've got experience in property. There's a reason why I'm asking this, because I know like a lot of people are interested. Some people are like, yeah, no, we're trading Forex, but you'll find there's some guys who buy cars, who buy, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd like to believe at the end of the day, if a person feels like that's what they need in their life, cool. But there are some people who are very strategic and like, I want to use the funds that I'm making from this particular and take it into property. What advice would you give to somebody, where to start, where not to start, or what mistakes have you made in that regard?
Yeah, mistakes. We're gonna be here for a very long time. Okay. No, look, first of all, you need to educate yourself in anything, whether you go into business or you go to property, Forex, whatever. You need to educate yourself into the space that you're entering into. Like I'm saying, there's a couple of ways one can make money using property.
Yes.
So in order for you to know which one will work for you, you need to educate yourself and know that, okay, these are the options and this is the one that can work better for me, particularly since my income is coming this way. So you filter that into your decision to say, okay, this is how I'm entering the space. Of course, I always advise people who don't know yet that they must just start by buying a unit and manage one tenant.
Okay.
That will frustrate you enough and teach you plenty of lessons for you to then decide, okay, I'm getting another one, or I'm like, no, I quit. I'm going to try something else, even if it's still property.
Okay.
Because what you can do as well, you can earn money, go property, by selling deals to people. So you identify a distressed property and then you do the calculations to say, okay, how if I buy it with this much money and renovate it with this much money, how much am I gonna sell it for, and what is my profit? So once you've done those calculations, then you sell it to the next person. The person must then fund the buying of the property and then fund the renovation, and then you can share the profit with that person. So you can benefit from property without actually owning a property.
Okay.
So that is also another strategy. So it requires for you to go around looking for those distressed property, or register with sheriff's auctions, things like those. So if you feel you have the time to do that, you have, there are people who just on the other side who are just waiting for deals. They just buy deals and do the funding and then profit and share with you, then you're done.
Sure.
So
there's so many ways.
So it's up to you. What do you think works for you?
But like as you guys heard, it's important for you guys to go and learn, find information, educate yourselves. Because I think a lot of people say, even with Forex, people are the same. People don't want to learn.
They just jump in there and say, as much as I encourage action first, but like it is important to educate yourself, and I speak about this a lot. And I think I am the way I am because of the self-education that I've committed for myself, and went out and got knowledge. I listen to podcasts, I read, I attend seminars. I'm on overdrive, so don't compare myself with me.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So for me to write a book, it's all having learned all of those things through my experience and through reading, and then of course making my own or getting to my own conclusions and then delivering it into the book. And then then someone who reads can also learn along with his combination of his information seeking ways and ganjalo ganjalo. So it's one of the most powerful tools to train your mind as well.
Sure. Yeah, that's beautiful. You know, let's talk about the comfort zone, you know, because I know a lot of people tend to be just stuck in the comfort zone of just like, I'm okay where I am. I don't see. So when did you decide that? Because you say you've been working for 20 years. You're a civil engineer, correct?
I'm a civil engineering technologist, but by profession or accreditation, I am a project manager.
A project manager, okay.
So I work in construction.
So how long have you been working for? Before you started making that move, you know why I'm asking how long you've been working for? Because I want to find out is that, you know, when did you actually, after how many years did you get to a point where you just like, actually, I want more
for... pin dropped.
Yeah, well, I want more for my life. This comfort zone, I'm comfortable here, but I think I want more for my life. So how many years were you working for before you made that decision?
Yeah, it was actually 20. I've been working for a while. So
okay.
And I've been in this wealth journey not that long. I think the journey started with property.
Okay.
But along the way, I need to mention that I did go through a depression. A depression renders you helpless. And it's just darkness. And I hope people who might be going through that will learn from my story and it helps them somehow. So when I was going through that, I was desperate to get out of the dark space I was in. So I started applying the tools that I speak about. But now as I do that, I'm learning, this is much more powerful than just getting myself out of this hole. It started making me feel, you know, like the power being that I'm actually that everybody is, by the way.
Sure.
So it was a process of taking back my power. I had to sit down with myself to get myself out of the helplessness and stop blaming the government, stop blaming my employer, stop blaming my circumstances. Hey, Uzbanbani has put me in this position. And pick myself up and take responsibility of where I was. And then the tools help you do that first, and then try to get you to have a positive mindset, have a progressive mindset where you start thinking about a positive future for yourself or envisioning the future that you want. So slowly but surely, as I was getting out of there, then I realized, hi man, these are the tools that one can share with other people, because the nicest thing about them is that you can either apply them to gain wealth, or you can, you know, have better relationships or better spirituality. They are that powerful. Sure. I swear by them. So yes, it was give or take 20 years of working and not having anything to show for it. And then, of course, the depression hit, and that totally woke me up, because now I come from a family that encourages work, action, and movement. So when I found myself in a space where I was just couldn't do anything, waking up from bed was a mission. It was a totally mindset shift, and I had to do something about it. It was either that or death, so I had to choose. So in my choosing to live and choosing to take responsibility and choosing to change my circumstances, my life completely changed. And a book came out of that.
You stepped out the comfort zone.
I stepped out of a comfort zone. Sure. I thought my life was perfect until you. As much as it was a painful moment in my life, I am grateful for for the ability to get myself out of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's powerful. I want to talk about relationships now, because I know when we're on this wealth journey, I know everyone's got the same 24 hours in a day. We've got the same 7 days a week, same 365 days a year. But I think, we see from those ahead of us is that a lot of people have said that there's no time for everything, and how does one actually balance, being on this particular journey, chasing that wealth and be like, I want to be someone, I want to create a better living conditions for my family, a legacy, like you said. But in building a legacy, it seems like there's a bit of a
the issue of time.
Yeah, the issue of time and relationships and family, there's just that kind of trade-off of like, how does one actually get to balance, or what would you say towards that?
Okay, first of all, if you come to talk to me about that, you don't have time, but you have time to watch TV.
Yeah.
Then the conversation just ends right there.
It's over. Yeah.
But secondly, I do understand there are people who are in situations where everything just is looking at them and there's not enough time. I would encourage for them to wake up early, right? That is the first thing. The second thing, it does not require a lot of time. 10, 15 minutes of reading, of meditating or affirmations, it does not require a lot of money. I was talking to my colleague the other day. He was saying, I'm stuck in traffic for an hour and whatnot. I'm like asking him, what did you do in that period? Were you complaining or were you listening to music? What was the story? And he says, I listened to, some gospel music. And I'm like, why don't you listen to an audiobook?
Yeah.
Because then that means you get to work smarter than when you left home. Would that not add value in your life? And he was like, hey, I'm going to do this. So, and also we all go to the toilet, guys. A toilet, there's plenty of... So I talk about this, by the way. Okay, I'm not graphic about the toilet thing, but I'm just saying, sitting there and doing nothing with yourself, abanye, they take their phones with and go to social media instead. Gandhi, that is the time you could be using to either read something or listen to something. When you're busy cooking for those kids or whoever, you can be listening to something that will add, there's a lot of time within our lives, those pockets. So when you're waiting on the queue, that's also a golden time. You can literally take a book and read. You can listen to a podcast and all of that. So the notion of not having time, it's still also in that operating in that space is a scarcity. I don't have enough time. That's still a scarcity mentality. I will use whatever time is available to me. And reading when you are on a queue, especially queue maybe that is slow, you don't get there irritated. Or when you're stuck in traffic, I will be in road rage. Because now you're getting something out of this situation instead of being frustrated.
That's true.
So those are the situations that which I speak about. That I think one can help themselves. And that is the definition of taking charge of your life. You don't let life happen to you. It's when you make decisions like those to say, from now on, when I'm in traffic, this is how I'm going to manage myself. From now on, when I'm in a toilet or in a queue, whatever your situation is where you have to wait, you can use that time efficiently. And that is how you slowly take charge of your life.
Sure, no, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's a very pity we need to wrap it up right now. Because I feel like there's just so much that we need to extract from you. Can I just quickly have the book? Yeah, guys. So if you guys are looking for the book, think like the wealthy, not the rich. We'll leave the link in the description to the Amazon. Link in the link. And so if those are interested, can also go and get it for themselves.
Unless you want a signed copy.
A signed copy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also leave your details in the description below as well, so people can reach out to you and get a signed copy from you. No, thank you so much, Mamohao Nkosi. I appreciate your time. Appreciate the knowledge that you've shared today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching. And this is another installment of Market Masters Out and About. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is another episode of Market Masters where I sit down with the most prominent and talented individuals in the game. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys same time, same place next week. And